Necessity is indeed the mother of invention. At the age of 17, he's a smart inventor who invented a wind-powered rotor that generates electricity and can also double up as a water pump. It is just one of his projects. In our Panorama Smart Entrepreneur segment, we highlight the second best young innovator in Africa. On the outskirts of Nairobi City, to be precise, Dagoretti High School, located in Waithaka town, we came across the ever-smiling candidate, Michael Mutuku. Coming from a humble background, he identifies with every challenge of electricity.
So actually, my idea came from a guy known as Darius. He's a French engineer back in the 1700s. So he came up with a rotor, an egg beater. So he used it in the 1700s to, it was a model actually. So it has actually been commercialized over the years. Today it's used in California, in the wind farms in California. It's highly used there. So I thought maybe I'd improvise his idea and come up with my own project. As we realize the Vision 2030, so to come up with projects that will help equalize the whole Kenyans. So by the year 2030, you find that there is no a superior Kenyan, there is no an inferior Kenyan. So I talked with my teacher, and now it narrowed down to the materials, locally available ones. We just took some parts of mabati which had remained after our school remade our garage. And these are flat bars. Believe in all them, they are used to make beds at school. So we just scrap them off from the artisan's workshop.
He is the brains behind the wind-powered rotor machine that generates electricity, which can also double up as a water pump if connected to a hydraulic system. Michael has derived the name rotor for his wind-powered 2-in-1 machine. If you're the kind of person that crunches every time when paying up your electricity bill, this may just be your solution due to its affordability and efficiency. It just requires slight wind generating up to a minimum of 12 volts a day, but this is only limited to your battery storage capacity.
This whole system is welded into this one gear.
The same machine can also be connected to a hydraulic system to pump water, one of the important necessities for any household.
It moves one rotation, the smaller one moves 10, hence rotating the dynamo like 20 or so rotations. So the more rotations, current, direct. But for home use, we use a storage facility so that when the system rotates, the bigger gear rotates the smaller gear. The smaller gear, which is articulated to the dynamo, rotates the dynamo. The dynamo generates current, hence lighting the bulb. But for home use, we can use the system. When the wind energy rotates the system, the gears rotate, rotating the dynamo generating current, which is stored in a storage apparatus. In our case, we have a 12-volt battery. So, using an inverter, we invert the DC to AC, which can be stepped up. So after inverting the direct current to alternate current, we use a step-up transformer. We step up the 12 volts to 240 volts. Alternatively, the 240 volts can be used to pump water. You get?
With iron sheets and malleable steel as raw materials, Mike's desire is to commercialize this project. The engineer's invention is diverse in markets ranging from low-income earning Kenyans and small dispensaries in the rural areas to large social halls and upcoming residential estates. Junior Achievers JA is a non-profit making company which last year recognized his previous project of a hot water iron box. As he endeavors to sit for his O-level exam by the end of the year, innovation has become part of him.
Because from his idea, I managed to innovate it and come up with my own project. So the other physical concepts that I use in coming up with the project, we have uniform circular motion, we have electromagnetism. In this electrical generator, that's the concept of electromagnetism is applied in coming up with it. From circular motion, and air occupies space. for the spacing and the shaping of the blades, because air, since air occupies space, it's able to occupy this space and move the system. Get? So we use 3 concepts in coming up with the project. So the reason behind the shaping of the blades is how they receive the wind. So for instance, when current itokea side, so it will take this blade. This one is just acting as an assistant to this one, so that when the wind current in a swoop up, this one kind of like directs the current to this one, so finds it's in a circular way. So that's, we derive that concept from the uniform circular motion physics. So we find that the wind may maintain just within this area. So once it may hit here, this one assists it to direct it to the other propeller. So find it goes on in a continuous circle. So unapata, the more ina rotate, the more current inaingia kwa the storage facility. You get? So down here, okay, we used 3 ball bearings, 3 of them for the proper rotation of the whole system. And then the flat bars what connect the blades to the bearings, so that the whole system, when the wind current hits one blade, the whole system rotates. And then for the bearings, we'd cover them with a flat bar. We shaped in a circular shape, and then we welded it onto the ball bearing. The reason being, when the bearing is exposed to much heat, it can't take the heat of the welding apparatus. The system can be used to generate power, which can be used in social halls, business premises, their hospitals, homes, and etc. Basically, it just can be used to power any place. Yeah, it's readily available. Reason being, the raw materials used to make it are locally available materials, which are easy to get and are not costly. For such a project, it's pocket friendly, at least for every Kenyan. So just need to mount it on top of your house. And the good thing with it is that what I've assumed in making the project is that there'll be constant supply of wind, because as for it, it just needs the minimum amount of wind current just to make small rotations, in turn generating current which is stored in a battery, which if you want, you just use an inverter, invert it to AC, step it up, then it supplies all your need. So that's an assumption I've made, that there'll always be constant supply of wind. Yeah, and it doesn't need the maximum height to be installed. It just needs, like, let's say 5 to 10 meters above your house. That's enough to generate the minimum amount of current which you can step up to supply the whole house electricity needs. But let's talk of now mounting it up higher, like the bigger, larger wind turbines. So the higher you go, the stronger the wind in a get. So the stronger the wind, this system itakuwa able to rotate even faster. Rotating faster, we'll need a larger or a bigger electrical storage facility. Yeah, because for instance, let's take we are calculating with my physics teacher. Let's take for instance our school generator. The amount of electricity it generates when there is a blackout to the whole school is 415 kilowatts. Yeah, with this, for this system being mounted on a minimum height of, let's say, 10 meters, it's able to generate a minimum amount of 3 watts. No, that's the minimum amount of speed considering the electrical generator tumetumia. So mount it somewhere higher, it will generate more watts of electricity. You get? And with great speed and with the more blades to increase surface area, so there is more rotations. And with the help of the gears, there is more rotation to the electrical generator, hence generating much watts of electricity.
With such innovative ideas and its implementation, it will go a long way, in his words, in improving the livelihood of Kenyans in the rural areas, which is what he ultimately aims to achieve through his invention. Dorcas Karanja, GBS News.